Hey, Shalom. It is Fallen Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. I believe that more people should start considering tomorrow. Start considering what tomorrow is going to look like for you. I get asked the question, pretty regularly, well, FY, what if nothing happens and you did all that work for nothing? And I think people confuse me with, your typical, doomsday prepper. And I'm not a doomsday prepper. I homestead, and I'm a ardent believer of the ways of Yah and the simplicity of his ways. So I didn't come out here and move out here because I'm some prepper. I didn't come out here and forsake what I forsook in the world and the city because I was scared. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg and all them building, doomsday bunkers. I came out here because it is a better life, and I can read about this life in the book, and I can see the blessings of, self-sufficiency and security. Because either way, if you read the Bible, all throughout the Bible, you found times of insecurity, whether it be famine, or it was war, or it was drought, or it was, I said war. There was always some sort of insecurity. So, always being able to produce food or staying out of these metropolitan areas, which you can see the benefit of that biblically. But also, having an inheritance from our children's children, giving my children an extreme head start in life is a beautiful thing. See, today, nobody's considering what tomorrow may look like. And, in my case, if nothing happens, then my children have a beautiful place. They always have a home. Yada, there's an inheritance in their name. Yada, they're not going to have to go and try to hit it in a crap economy like most people are. Yada, yada, yada. But let's flip it now. Let's say something does happen. What are you going to do? Let's not even say it's big. Let's just say the economy keeps tanking the way it is. The dollar keeps losing its value the way it is. Rent prices, let's just say your rent goes up 25% in the next, year. Can you afford it? Let's say everything, your utilities, your gas, your water, your electricity goes up 25%. What does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? And I think that is the most important thing. Is we can look at things and things are trending towards bad. They're not trending towards getting better. They're not trending towards nothing's going to happen. We already know prophetically in the word, things are going to happen. Hard times are going to come. But things aren't trending towards good. I don't care what Biden says when all the good jobs are being slowly phased out and it's more and more fast food jobs. The idea of you will own nothing and be happy is starting to look more and more real. So while you're living it up, not concerned about tomorrow, because you think, well, tomorrow will take care of itself, and you don't have an understanding of what the word is actually talking about, you do nothing. And tomorrow will take care of you. By not making moves, you are putting yourself in a position to have daddy. When I say daddy, I mean government take care of you. You are putting yourself in a position where you're going to have to go into Egypt to find food, to find work, for everything. And have we not learned the story of Jasher? That Israel became enslaved, going into Egypt to build the cities of Pithom and Ramses for Pharaoh. Levi didn't go in. But the rest of them did because of the money. And you see what's happened today. People went in to build these, or to partake and be part of these major cities. And now these major cities are falling apart. Infrastructure is falling apart. Crime is shooting through the roof, and they can't afford anything. And here's how it goes: as more and more people are going to be unable to afford things, crime's going to continue to shoot higher and higher. People will just start taking. I was looking online. I can't remember what city it was in, but a Brinks truck driver was being robbed midday, filling up an ATM machine. And I think it was a real video. You can look it up online. It was on the news. Brinks truck driver was being robbed, gunpoint, and then the guy stole his pants. Stole the money and then stole the Brinks driver's pants. And I'm just like, this is just broad daylight. People are brazen now. They don't care. People just don't care. And then you're seeing a demonic infestation of influence on people, where people are doing crazy stuff. People are not mentally all there. And you're going to, continue to see the manifestations of the influences of demons on people. People are going to continue to do violent shit. They're going to continue to do foul shit. They're going to continue to do, it's just going to keep going, and it's going to get worse and worse. And it always starts off in these major cities that everybody went off to go and build. Everyone went off for the quick money. Everyone went off. But in these cities, you eat, right? You eat. How do you think food gets into those cities? But see, if you're growing your own food, you're not going to have to worry about that. What about water? How do you think water gets into those cities? What about electricity? Can you imagine turning off the electricity to Atlanta, Georgia? Can you imagine turning off the electricity? Well, if the electricity went out, in the suburbs or in the sticks, people would be struggling also. Well, people would struggle, but can you imagine? You might be able to make it in the inner city without electricity. But what about the other 5 million, 2 million, 1 million people? Do you think they have all prepared the way you did? Do you think they all put back food and water and have a backup generator and gasoline and had the wherewithal to put the provisions away? No, they didn't. So when there's this loud noise in the middle of the night and they see lights coming from your house, what do you think is going to happen? So that's great to have that generator. It's even great to have that super quiet generator. But how do you run it without letting everybody know that you got one? So considering tomorrow is, I think, very, very important. Food, water. I have a video coming out about what the Apocrypha says, is needed to sustain life. And I thought it was very important. I've actually used that in my preparedness, in the way I live, in my homesteading goals and things like that. I've used what the Apocrypha says, that we should be, blood of the grape and honey and salt and food and water and iron and all these things. It's a blueprint. I'm just putting this out there because I think that we need to consider what tomorrow looks like. And stop trying to live for today and all the amenities and your feelings and your comforts of today, because we're seeing the comforts are going away. So many who live for this moment, who live for the pleasures of that moment, are going to realize that the pleasures don't even come close to the suffering that they are now having to experience. When you look at all the money you spend and you find yourself, hopefully you don't find yourself, but if you did, not being able to pay your rent and having to buy a tent, or having to move in with people you don't know, or go back to your parents' house and actually humble yourself, which is what some of y'all are probably going to have to do. Many are going to have to do it. And hopefully you don't have to do it. They say that more and more people are moving home. And now that the burden's on their parents and their fixed income. Just want to put this out there that we need to consider the moves that we're making, the things that we're doing. And it may be time, I'm just, humbly speaking, it may be time to forego some of those comforts that you have and start asking yourself, what does tomorrow look like if I lose my job? What does tomorrow look like if my car gets repoed? What does tomorrow look like if I'm evicted from my apartment or whatever? Anyways, bless y'all. You see, it's late, but it's so nice out here tonight. Have a blessed night. See you tomorrow. Shalom.